Hey friends, how's it going? Ash here, welcome back to Gents. I keep hearing that spring is upon us. I keep hearing it, and yet 2 days ago, it was like 32 degrees Fahrenheit, 0 Celsius. It didn't feel like spring, I gotta say. But I think things are going to start heating up and everything is gonna start turning green, and that depression from winter is going to go away. I feel it any minute now. Knock on wood. Yeah. And since the season is finally starting to change, I want to share with you guys the 10 designer fragrances that I'm personally looking forward to wearing the most this spring. Some stuff that I think is just fantastic this time of year. Some of the fragrances you could wear in summer as well. Spring and summer, you know, they go together very well, just like fall and winter time, as far as fragrances go anyway. And I'll have all of them linked in the description below. Feel free to check them out down there. None of the fragrances that I'm including in today's list are my own fragrances though. These over here. Even though Edgewater I think is perfect for spring, and I will wear that this spring, I didn't want to include it officially in the list because it's a bit too much of a homer choice, isn't it? A little too biased there. Oh guys, number one fragrance, mine. But you can find those in every fragrance outlet and every Perfumania store in the United States, and that is also linked below where you can find them at Michael Wolf's website. All right, let's check out the fragrances. We're gonna start with a couple honorable mentions that I'm gonna go through really quickly. I've gotten away from doing honorable mentions for seasonal lists for the most part, but there are a couple I really wanted to highlight. So first one is this one, L'Eau d'Issy Vetiver from Issey Miyake. Really simple note breakdown here. Yeah, it's got 4 notes, a whopping 4. Vetiver, ginger, clary sage, and aquatic notes. That's it. And this one is just a really simple, easy wearing, easy going vetiver fragrance, a beginner's vetiver fragrance to an extent. You can wear this stuff pretty much anywhere. It's a nice casual fragrance. It's a good one to the office. You could wear it in more formal situations if the situation called for a more formal fragrance. That was just a really bad way to word that. L'Eau d'Issy Vetiver, a really nice one, just a fragrance I can grab, spray, and go. So that one, the first mention. The second one is this one, Brioni Eclat. I really like this line of fragrances, and this one I think is a great fresh choice. So this has musk, rose, grapefruit, olibanum, and ambroxan as some of the notes in the fragrance. And it has a really, really pleasant, brisk, very refreshing opening. The rose is clean. The musk also is clean. It doesn't come across heavy or anything like that. It has a bit of a fuzziness to it almost, the way it comes across. This is another one like L'Eau d'Issy Vetiver that is very classy, very easy to wear. So those are the honorable mentions. Before we hop to number 10, here are a bunch of codes that you can use at different websites to save yourself some money should you shop at any of these sites. GS11 will save you 11% off at fragflex.com, which is a big discounter. The newest code is Gents for 10% off at the Perfume Box, and then of course you have all these other codes as well. So if you shop at any of those sites, use those codes to save a little money. All right, number 10, we are officially for real this time, kicking the list off with Polo Cologne Intense. This is from Ralph Lauren. A very green fragrance, in case you couldn't tell by the bottle and presentation of this one. It doesn't go as far toward the original as maybe some people would have liked, the original Polo Green, but I think the way this is done makes it much more wearable for more people nowadays than the original Polo Green is. Shout out to the original Polo Green though, that's a killer scent. So this has basil, mint, grapefruit, clary sage, ambroxan, and vetiver as some of the notes in the fragrance. So again, the opening, very green, has a little bit of an herbaceousness to it, aromatic as well. The ambroxan is going to give it more of a fresh, modern woodiness underneath everything instead of a heavy pine like the original did. And really, all 3 of these first fragrances have a lot in common, even though they don't smell similar. They all are fragrances that I think are fantastic casually, that have a very nice uplifting feel to them. And they all have a bit of a classiness to them as well. So you can kind of see with these first 3, some of the styles of fragrances that I gravitate toward right now. during spring. So number 10, Ralph Lauren. Number 9, Guerlain Platine Privé, L'Homme Ideal Platine Privé, which is quite similar to L'Homme Ideal Cologne, which was discontinued years ago. And I always really liked L'Homme Ideal Cologne, especially because when it was out years back, you could find it for cheap at discounters. You're not gonna find this one cheap at discounters, unfortunately, but Cologne, you could until it's discontinued. And of course, that cheap price always helps. When you can pick something up for 25, 30 bucks, feel pretty good about it a lot of times. Unfortunately though, this one is at the moment not really easy to find at discounters, and when you can, it is not inexpensive. It does smell, as I mentioned, quite similar to L'Homme Ideal Cologne. Grapefruit, bergamot, almond, neroli, and vetiver, some of the notes in this scent. The citrus smells fantastic. It has a creaminess from the almond. When you first spray it on, it just grabs your attention right away. For my own personal taste, maybe the vetiver could have been bumped up a little bit, but you can still pick it up in there, and it provides a nice, classy, masculine woodiness to the base. Really, really easy to wear, smooth, creamy, elegant, just the right amount of sweetness. Platine Privé, great stuff. Number 8, Gentleman Eau de Toilette Intense. And this one has a bit of a similarity to Dior Homme Eau, which was discontinued years ago. So we got 2 fragrances here that have some similarities to long gone scents. This one has iris, tonka, cedar, cardamom, and cypress as some of the notes in the fragrance, and the iris is going to be the focal point for a lot of people. It's kind of a blue iris, so it's going to give you that creamy feeling that you find in a lot of gentleman fragrances, but it's done with more of a fresh edge, more of a wearability to it. So Gentleman Eau de Parfum, for example, smells fantastic, really, really good, but that's going to be darker, a little heavier, more mysterious. This one freshens things up a bit. Once again, good amount of sweetness in the scent here, touch of spice, the woodiness, not overdone, very easy wearing, very elegant, versatile, and a compliment puller as well. Gentleman EDT Intense, a fantastic release, especially if you like iris. Number 7, a fragrance that a lot of people are going to position more as a summertime scent, but I think spring or summer, this one is great. And it's Eau Givre from Hermes, part of the Terre d'Hermes line. Citron, juniper woods, and a bit of a minerality are some of the notes to the scent here. So why more of a summer fragrance for some people? The opening, the opening, very citrus forward with that citron. Oh, it smells awesome. I love the opening of Eau Givre. It smells natural to an extent, very, very appealing. It doesn't have too much of a sour side to the citrus. For some people, if it's a bit bitter, tart, sour, then citrus can come across a bit off-putting. You don't get much of that here. Instead, just very fresh. And then you have the woodiness underneath, that minerality, that fuzziness. It just really captures your attention. It's clean, it's classy, gentlemanly, but then because it is ultimately, at the end of the day, a fresh woody citrus scent, very easy to pull off. So this one, absolutely gonna reach for in the spring and frankly the summer also. Number 6, I have gone over to the dark side. And it's all your fault. All of you guys are guilty, okay? Eros Flame. Yes, Eros Flame. Oh man, you guys know. If you've watched the channel for a minute anyway, you know. It comes up all the time. Every time I ask you guys on the community tab, what is a good fragrance for X? The answer is always Eros Flame. At least that's how it feels. Every time I pull up the community tab, I'm like, I wonder what the guys gave this time for answers. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Flame. But it's good. It's actually really, really good. I don't know if it's Stockholm Syndrome or not, but I have grown to love it. Dr. Strangelove, or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love the Eros Flame. Mandarin, pepper, vanilla, tonka, kinoto, rosemary, and woody notes. Some of the notes that make up Eros Flame. Now, like the OG Eros, or the Eau de Parfum, or the Parfum, Eros Flame is a big compliment puller. People love the scent profile. Nice sweetness to this one, but freshness as well. And as I've harped on in the past, fresh plus sweet oftentimes means people are going to just go crazy for it, and they do. It has a little green aspect, some aromatics to it as well, which to me makes it more interesting. And this is one that's not just a spring fragrance. I think Eros Flame is a year-round fragrance. Spring, summer, fall, winter, day or night, it can do pretty much anything. Performance is good here as well. And even though Eros is extremely popular in the US and worldwide, Eros Flame is not quite on the level as far as popularity goes as the original and the Eau de Parfum and Parfum. So I can't sit here and tell you, oh, hidden gem. I will say it's not being worn as much as the others. Number 5, this is gonna be one that some of you are like, what? This doesn't make any sense. But this is one I feel like is kind of a hidden gem for springtime. I pulled it off the shelf just a couple weeks ago, sprayed it on, and I was like, I wanna wear that more. Yeah, a lot more. It is Lacoste Match Point Cologne. Now, Lacoste fragrances from discounters are typically pretty affordable, and this is gonna be cheaper than just about everything else I talk about here today. Boop, boop, boop. So what's the deal with Match Point Cologne? Well, note-wise, this one has rhubarb, which I love. I think a criminally underutilized note. Also has orange, gentiana, lavender, and cashmere. So you get a little tartness there off the top from the rhubarb, mixes together very well with the orange, and it gives you a different feel off the top than most other fragrances that are popular right now. It has little pops in there of like classically masculine aspects, but then done in a very fresh, clean way, like most of these are. Woodiness that comes out is very appealing, and just overall, I feel like of the Match Point line, that Cologne is probably the best one. Not a line that really got a crazy amount of attention or anything like that, but this stuff can hang with the best spring fragrances out there. Number 4 is a fragrance that would not be considered a spring fragrance. It's really kind of a year-round fragrance, and it is Born in Roma Intense. Well, year-round, but probably least of all in summer, just because that one does have a good amount of sweetness to it. So this has vanilla, lavender, and vetiver as the official notes, a very simplistic note breakdown for this one. And this in the air is just insane. In the air, Uomo Born in Roma Intense is one of the most addictive fragrances that I have smelled in years. Up close, this smells good, really nice. The vanilla is well done, not overdone, just the right amount, very addictive, very alluring. But in the air, man, it is another story. The scent trail that it leaves, the scent cloud that it creates, it is something to behold. It really is. It's that type of scent you spray it on, you go about your day, and you catch a whiff if you're not familiar with it, and you just stop and you're like, wait, what is it? It's me. It's me. Oh, I smell freaking awesome. Maybe a bit of an exaggeration, but it's good. And a similar thing happens when other people smell it, man. It is just a compliment monster, and it's something that I fell in love with and continue to love. So even though it does have more sweetness than pretty much everything else that we're gonna talk about, it's got maybe more of a heavy feel to it than all the others. I don't care. Did I wear it in fall? Yes. Winter? Yes. Spring? Yes. I wear it a lot. Number 3, why Eau de Toilette from Yves Saint Laurent. Now I know this is a choice that some people are gonna be like, oh no, why sucks? But I feel like why Eau de Toilette during the spring is sometimes criminally overlooked. It has aldehydes, lavender, bergamot, ginger, vanilla, ambergris, and some of the notes here. It has a perfect blend of sweetness and freshness. I talked about that just a couple fragrances ago. Just so well done, very versatile. Really, you can pull this off anywhere, anytime during spring. The Eau de Parfum is like the big dog in the line that most people seem to wear and gravitate toward. And then Le Parfum and to a lesser extent, Y Live also have You know, big following, people that really like those and will sign off on those. But the eau de toilette always kind of gets kicked by the wayside. You know, it's like, oh, the original, blah, that sucks. Let's go with one of the flankers, you know? But this has a great, classy, to an extent, like clean laundry aspect to it that is just very appealing, very, very easy to wear. I think myself, also by Yves Saint Laurent, would be a good choice for a lot of people just looking for that type of scent, versatile compliment puller that you don't have to think about. But to my own personal taste, I like YET more than myself, just the way it smells. Number 2, Dior Homme Sport. Oof, that's a good one. I'm complimenting my own list. Wow, good choice, man. I like that one too. Wait. Oh yes, this is my list. Lemon, bergamot, elemi, woods, olibanum, little pink pepper in there as well. So this has a similarity to Dior Homme 2020, only freshened up, cleaned up a little bit. Not at all a gym fragrance. I know it's Dior Homme Sport, but this thing you can use whenever you want, once again. It has that level of versatility to it. I am just now realizing there's like a bubble in my glass on the back of the bottle. I thought there was something stuck to the bottle. I'm like, oh, this is a bubble in the glass. Curse you, Dior! Your pathetic quality control didn't catch my bottle bubble. I'm triggered. No, I'm not. I don't care. But yeah, this stuff, not a gym fragrance. I mean, you can wear it to the gym if you wanted to, but it's much, much, much more than that. Wonderful spices, citrus, and woods, and elegant fragrance that will have you smelling like $1,000,000 whenever you bust it out. Number 1, numero uno, probably not a surprise. Paradise Garden, LeBeau Paradise Garden. Aquatic notes, green notes, mint, coconut, fig, sandalwood, and tonka. Some of the notes in the fragrance. So this has an opening that I think is amazing. One of the best openings in years. Like this thing, the first time I sprayed it on, it was just, oh, I love it. That was how long it took me to make the decision. Green, sweet, once again, the fig coconut combo smells very, very appealing. Decently unique as well in the world of designers for men. Absolutely love the fragrance. Issue could be, you know, a little hard to find in the US for a while. LeBeau and LeBeau Le Parfum have not been super easy to find in the US either. So there is that frustration, that headache of trying to acquire a bottle of the stuff. I know Fragrance Buy got some in stock and then it sold out really quickly. So there is that, but you know, removing that from the equation, just the fragrance itself, I think perfect for spring and summer, but I'm gonna wear it in spring. So there we go. There is the spring list, the spring lineup. I know that some people could say Guerlain is a niche house, but obviously the L'Homme Ideal line competes with designer fragrances, not niche, so that's why it's here in this list. Let me know in the comments, what are you wearing? What are your choices for this spring? Thank you guys for hanging with me. Stay safe out there. See you tomorrow with another fragrance video. See you later.